Genesis 15 opens with God speaking directly to Abram and begins with a word that somebody listening to right now needs to hear. Fear not, Abram. I am the shield and the extending great reward. Oh yes, God says, I'm your protector, I'm your covering, I'm your reward. Not the money, not the land, not the success. God himself is the reward. But Abram is honest with God, like some of us need to be. He says, Lord, what can you really give me when I don't even have a child? When the promise hasn't happened yet? When what I prayed for hasn't come to pass? Have you ever been there? You're believing, waiting, hoping, but still empty-handed. Abram says, Lord, right now, the only one who inherits my house is a servant, not my own child. And God speaks back and says, no, sir, that servant isn't the one. I'm going to give you a son from your own body, from your own life, from your own story. And then God leads Abram outside into the night sky. And he says, look up, count the stars if you can. And when Abram looks up in the darkness, all he can see is promise. And God says, that's how many descendants you will have. The Bible says something powerful right here. Abram believed God, and God counted that belief as righteousness. Not works, not perfection, not performance. Faith, trust, and dependence. Then God seals it with a covenant, a holy agreement, a promise written in heaven's ink. Animals are cut in two, because in ancient times that meant, if this promise is broken, let the one who breaks it be torn apart. But watch this. Abram does not walk through the covenant. Only God does. Why? Because the promise didn't depend on Abram. It depended on God alone. God was saying, I'm not making this promise based on your strength, your goodness, your behavior, your record, but on my faithfulness. And God tells Abram, yes, your people will suffer. Yes, they will go through slavery. Yes, they will be strangers in a land that is not theirs. But after the suffering, after the hardship, after the fire, I will bring them out with great possessions. Because delay is not denial. Suffering is not abandonment. Waiting is not rejection. God is faithful to what he speaks. Always. Let's pause now. Breathe. Listen carefully. Here's what Genesis 15 really means. Abram was worried. Life didn't look like God's promise. The blessing hadn't arrived. But God told Abram, don't be afraid. I am with you. I am your protector. I am your blessing. And when Abram trusted God, God said, that right there, that trust, that faith, that's what I'm looking for. Not perfection, not performance, not pretending, just faith. The covenant shows us this. God keeps his promises even when we struggle, even when we doubt, even when we question, even when we don't understand, because the promise rests on him. So tonight, if you feel like Abram, waiting, wondering, questioning, look up. Look past the darkness. Look beyond the doubt. Look toward the heavens. Because the same God who painted the night sky with stars painted your future with promise. And he's saying, fear not. I am your shield. I am your great reward. So hold on. Trust him. Stand firm. Because if God said it, it will come to pass.